you turned pro, you've been with Mick Hennessy, you stuck with Mick Hennessy, and for a young professional, heavyweight especially, you've been matched pretty hard and pretty quick. Your acceleration is probably quicker than a lot of professionals who are actually even older than you, in the heavyweight division especially.
I'll tell you what the reason for that was, yeah. When I first turned pro, I come back off honeymoon, yeah, and I was fat as a pig, yeah.
I remember it.
And I come back and I boxed the next day. I rushed back off honeymoon, cut the honeymoon short by a week, yeah. And I've been on an all-inclusive holiday, eating and drinking myself to death. I just got married, so you know what else I was doing as well, yeah. So anyway, I've come back a day before, done all my medicals, done my injections, and got in. I fought some cruiserweight, done him in a round, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
But fat as big, but then I got my head on training. But Mick Hennessy couldn't believe that I wanted to fight good fighters, yeah. I wouldn't take all these bumps. He said to me in my second pro fight, he got me someone who'd had 15, won 2, lost 14 or something, yeah, lost 13. I said, I'm not fighting him, no chance, yeah. And you can even ask Mick, I've refused that many shit opponents, yeah. Unbelievable, to give myself harder tests. Like in my second fight, I fought that German who'd had 23 fights, 21 wins, 20 knockouts.
Yeah.
For my second fight, and I picked that myself.
Yeah.
Because I thought I could beat him, and I did beat him.
Yeah.
But I won't take the soft opposition.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to be happy to take it, I think it's insulting for someone of my level to fight some fat Bulgarian or something.
Yeah.
So when no one else will fight, then you've got to take these men to keep busy. But if it's my choice, I want to fight the undefeated fighters. If you look at my record, yeah, I've had 15 fights, but there's been 4 of them undefeated.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have been tough men like John McDermott and a few others as well.
So talking about John McDermott, the first fight, very controversial ending to that. The majority, and in fact, pretty much everyone that you speak to, thinks that McDermott won that fight. Well, what's your opinion of that?
To be honest with you, I was in there and I was fighting my heart out, yeah. I was only just turned 20, yeah. It was my 7th pro fight.
That's amazing.
To be in there with a seasoned veteran,
like
nearly beat Danny Williams twice, yeah. Just to be 20 and 7 pro fights. It was too big of a step too soon. I was a good kid, but at my own level, you know what I mean? Not at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't at that level yet. And now it'd have been a different fight, yeah, because I'm seasoned now a bit. But then it was just too much too soon.
Yeah.
And I fought my heart out, and I threw a lot of punches. And I'm not a referee or a judge. And it was on his own show.
Well, you're a good judge of boxing.
Yeah. So, it was on his own show in Brentwood.
Yeah.
And I got the decision. So whatever matters in the past, it doesn't matter.
What do you think? Do you think you won that fight?
Depends how you look at it. Because if you look at it on clean...
You're not giving me a yes or no here.
No, listen. I'll give you a yes and no.
Yeah, go.
If you look at it on clean landing shots, yeah, hard punches, then McDermott won it.
Yeah.
But if you look at it on work rate, I landed a lot more than he did, but his shots were more powerful. Like, I'd land 3 shots and he'd land 1, swinging right hand right on my chin, yeah? So if you looked at it from that point of view, then McDermott won it. But if you looked at it in my point of view, then I won it on the work rate. But in the last 2 rounds, he was turning his back and all sorts. What won me that fight was the last 2 rounds, because he didn't fight back in the last 2 rounds, and I fought like really hard.
Yeah.
But there's no excuses, yeah. I didn't want to go and not fight him again, yeah. I fought straight a week after in Ireland, over in Dublin.
That's right.
Yeah.
You hurt your hand that time.
And I hurt my hand. That was the first time I hurt my right hand, yeah. And that was that. So then I had time off and I got punched in the back by that Richard Towers and done me back in as well. So then it went into the next year.
But fair play to you. You went and gave him a rematch.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of having a close fight with someone like that and people saying I'd lost. Because it's not about that for me. If I went in there and lost, and got lost, the decision lost, then it'd have been fair enough, you know what I mean? I couldn't say anything about it. But because I got the win, and people didn't, 99%, it was only me and my dad fought to win it, actually. But you're going to think anyway,
right, yeah, okay, yeah.
99% of people thought he won it, so I couldn't stick my head up in people and say I'm a champion, if I didn't go back and fight him. So then I had to go back to his hometown again, back into the Lion's Den, to put it right. And I knocked him out in 9 rounds.
Yeah.
Hard 9 rounds. It was red hot as well.
Behind the scenes, Mick Hennessy's stable was pretty much falling apart.
Yeah. There was only me left.
And you stuck with him there.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Being who I am and what I do, it's an honourable sport, boxing. Yeah, fighting.
There's a lot of dishonour in it, though, isn't there?
It's a very bent, corrupt job. Yeah. But if it was how it's supposed to be, it's like supposed to be like for men of honour, or fighting. Yeah. It ain't just boxing, because if you take it back 1,000 years, yeah, people fought each other in gladiator rings with swords and stuff, yeah, and they killed each other for entertainment for people. And people clapped for them, yeah. But they bring it forward 1,000 years, yeah, and now they fight each other one-on-one in a ring, yeah, and people come and pay to watch. Two men punch the shit out of each other, basically, yeah. And that's how I believe it should be. But I signed up with Mick Hennessy in 2008. He believed in me then. Yeah, although I was the AVA champion and whatever, yeah, good amateur, he believed in me then, and he gave me a good deal and whatever, yeah, and he put all my fights on ITV, yeah, so it was nice of him to do that. So the least I could do is stand by him, because when a man's down, my dad always says, you never abandon a sinking ship, which is a divvy's idea, because if you don't abandon a sinking ship, you're going to go die. But I stuck to what he said. That was it. I stuck by Mick Hennessy, and you saw Frotch leave him, John Murray, Darren Parker. You saw Lenny Dawes get beat that night when I beat the Brazilian, and you saw John O'Donnell got beat as well. Yeah, so that was Mick's entire stable. Stephen Barnes, Bobby Ward, and even Phil Fury got beat as well. So that was his entire thing gone. So I was the last man standing. So if I'd have got beat off that Brazilian or Chisora, there'd have been no more Hennessy Sports.
Yeah.
So if I can keep winning, yeah, and keep going, Hennessy Sports will survive.
And he's turned it around as well. He's managed to
get me
out of the fire.
Reap the rewards.
He's pulled. It's a real coup, you know, getting Channel 5 on board. Something new, and you know, it's turned out really well so far.
Well,
you know?
I don't know if you've ever seen the film Jerry Maguire.
I have done. He was nearly finished.
Like.
You're right. Yeah.
This is what it's like. All these things.
I think Mick said I was like a fat Jerry Maguire.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, this is what it's like, and he got me the television deal, and he's done his job. He's worked hard. You phone Mick at 1 o'clock in the morning, he's on the phone. You can never get through to him. He's always busy. And he works 24/7 on the phone to America, and he's got loads of plans and stuff. So hopefully we can go on and do big things together, earn it right for you, quid, hopefully, touch wood.
So, at that Chisora fight, Martin Rogan was ringside, and he was willing you on. And he was brought over basically as a substitute as well, in case Chisora, because Chisora hadn't turned up to any of to some of the press engagements, probably playing a little bit of games there with you or whatever. And Martin was there, and he looked. He was willing you on, because I think he wanted you to win, and he wanted to fight you as well.
Yeah.
And that was when we spoke to him then. He was well up for fighting you. Yeah.
And when I spoke to him afterwards, he was well up for it as well. He said to me, yeah, you, me at the Odyssey or the King's Hall. He said it'll be a great fight, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, it'll be a really good fight. While we was over there, we was good mates, you know what I mean? Like, we was talking, and we always have been.
Because you knew each other before that as well, didn't you? You had sparred before when you were a kid.
Yeah, I sparred him when I was 17. And we got on well, yeah. And then he come back saying he's going to knock me bollocks in and all things like that. And I'm going to knock me out, and I'm too young for him and all this sort of stuff. But to be honest with you, Martin Rogan's 40-year-old, and if I couldn't beat him, I'm useless. Basically, yeah. Ain't it old man sport? So when he says he can beat me and do all this thing, he's dreaming, yeah. Because I don't think he'd go 5 rounds. Well, Sexton done him twice, yeah. And look what Chisora done with Sexton twice. So when he comes out and says stupid things like that, I think it was the biggest mistake he ever made not taking that fight, because I seriously believe he's never going to get offered that money ever again in his full life, because he's too old and he's finished.
I was asked this question on Steve Bunce's Boxing Hour this week. Why do you think Martin Rogan didn't take the Tyson Fury fight? And I gave my answer. What's your answer to that? What would your answer be to that?
My answer would be because he doesn't want the fight. He's blatantly said.
But why do you think he doesn't want it?
Because he knows he'll get beat.
Is it?
But it's not just getting beat for the money, yeah. He doesn't want to get beat in his own town, in front of all his own fans, the way I will beat him. I won't do it like Sexton done it, jabbed him to sleep, yeah. Like jabbed him up and made it a good fight, like, and it was controversial and he lost twice. I'll put him to sleep completely, cut him to pieces. And I don't think he knows that in his own brain, and I don't think he wants that.
When he turned up at that press conference that you had in Belfast, Well, what were you thinking there? Were you thinking this fight's actually going? He does fancy this fight, and he is going to take it. Or you
No,
think?
I knew he just didn't want the fight. Yeah, I knew that he wasn't going to take the fight because he'd said no. And like he said to Mick Hennessy, he said, if a man says no, a man means no. Why can't a no be good enough for you? Why have I got to give a million answers?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, this is a fair answer. If I says no to something, I mean no. So I had to give him credit. He said no, and that was it. He didn't want to fight, and you can't force people to fight.
No, you can't.
If someone don't want to fight, don't want to fight. I'm sure he's got good reasons why he don't want to fight.
Yeah.
But
and he's got his own promotion coming up now, and I hope he does really well in that, and I hope he sells out the Odyssey and makes £1 million. You know, so good luck to him to that. But I think everybody really wanted to see the 2E fight.
Well, to be honest
and with an Irish title on the line.
It'd have been a good fight in my behalf.
Yeah.
Because he's made to measure for me. He's old, and he comes forward onto me shots, and he blocks things with his face. Yeah. And he can't keep going on like that. Maybe he would catch me with some few shots or whatever, but there'd only be one win. I'm too young, you know what I mean? Too ambitious, and I'm too big for him.
Because the big wins he had against Skelton and against Harrison, there's not really great work rate out of either of those. So
them fights took the plug out of him. You know what I mean? They took everything out of him. So it's like I say, that fight's never going to happen. Never in a million years. So he's had his chance, and that's it.
That's done.